Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of Steven's Week, the weekly update on marketing and technology. Welcome to this new episode. I'm happy to give you the highlights of this week, and I just want to inform you that next week I'm going to skip a week, and then in 2 weeks I'm going to be back with a new update. But for now, please enjoy this new episode. Mark Zuckerberg gave a speech talking about the possibility for free speech on Facebook, and his commitment is to make sure that everyone can speak out their own opinions on the platform. And of course, the big debate is the elections 2020 in the US that are coming up. It's exactly 1 year from now. And Mark Zuckerberg is confident that he has now the technology to make sure that people won't be able to abuse the platform anymore. So this is going to be the test for Facebook after the disaster of 4 years ago, to prove that they can actually deal with fake news and they can actually be maybe more transparent with the people who advertise and target specific audiences. So I'm very curious to see how they will do this. And at the same time, you feel how the pressure is building up. So you have senators and politicians that are saying that they're going to create a new law for data management and that they're going to create new conditions in which that consumers will be able to control their own data. And if you don't follow those regulations, you may end up in jail. They threatened that someone like Mark Zuckerberg could end up in jail if he doesn't follow those regulations. So interesting to see how, on the one hand, politics are putting their act together and making sure that things will go right. And at the other hand, you see how Mark Zuckerberg is confident that his platform will be able to deal with all this and create a positive impact on the world. Interesting to see what will happen in the next 12 months. Time for a fun fact in the weekly. There's a pub in London that is using face recognition software to make sure that they know who to serve next when people are waiting in line. And these guys are tired of the fact that the loudest person gets served first. So they want to do this in the most honest and transparent way possible. So they're using a machine to help them, face recognition, to decide who can get the next pint when you go to a London pub. The streaming war between Netflix on the one hand and then companies like Disney Plus mainly is having a big influence on the cash flow of Netflix. As you know, Netflix is really investing in their own content, their own shows. They planned an investment of $15 billion this year, but now they have to raise $2.5 billion to make sure that they don't run out of cash. So Netflix is still burning quite some money, and this is of course to fight back against Disney. But it's interesting, I mean, because of this, they're going to boost the quantity of TV shows, and the quality of their shows is good, of course. But they have to fight a company like Disney that has main brands like Star Wars and Marvel and Disney and Pixar, where they're going to play the branding game rather than a quantity game. So I'm not sure how long Netflix can play this game. In the US, we saw that their number of subscribers is stabilizing, even decreasing a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to continue this fight with Disney, and if they will be able to maintain these high level of investments looking at their current cash flow. This week, the OpenAI team, the research lab of Elon Musk about AI, released a white paper, a research paper, and a video. And they showed us that they developed a robot hand that can solve a Rubik's Cube just with one robotic hand. And the fact that they can solve a Rubik's Cube, that's not new. We've seen many videos like that in the past. The breakthrough here is that the robot can do this with only one hand, and you have unexpected movements. You don't know how that cube will move in the hand. It's like a human hand. And the real challenge was to make sure that a robot can do that like a human without dropping the cube. And this is what they succeeded in. And this is a first step in research that will try to mimic human movements and try to mimic human behavior. Very micro, very small movements, which has been the real challenge in robotics. And this is a first step in that evolution. Google announced that they made a quantum leap in quantum computing. And they announced that they have created a quantum computer that can do a task that is so difficult that the best computer in the world at this moment would need 10,000 years to take care of this assignment. I wonder what kind of assignment that would be, to be honest, but okay, that's what they said. And now this computer can do it in 200 seconds, which is a major jump forward and a big step for Google in quantum computing. It was interesting to see that the other big player that is investing in quantum computer, which is IBM, they said, no. The other computer wouldn't need 10,000 years. It may need a few minutes more, but not 10,000 years. So they're putting Google's efforts a little bit down. No one knows who is right in this discussion, but one thing is certain: quantum computing is one of those general purpose technologies like 5G, like AI, like robotics. Those four have the potential to change the world, and we're at the beginning of a new decade, but I'm certain in 10 years from now, robotics, quantum computing, AI, and robotics are going to be like the new normal in society. Mark Zuckerberg was invited by the US Congress again to talk about Libra, but actually he got questioned about the advertisement model and about Cambridge Analytica again. And to be honest, I think he did a pretty bad job when some Congress lady really pushed him really hard. It was clear that he did not want to go all the way to solve the problem with fake news, and that he does not want to ban ads for political parties. And you know, in the whole process of creating trust, which they need for Libra, wouldn't it be a good start that they just decide to ban political ads on Facebook, and that you just work with earned media instead of paid media, and that you don't use the targeting technology that's behind it? I think that would be a good step to repair trust of Facebook, but apparently he's not willing to solve that problem. Surely, because that would be a problem for his entire business model. So question mark if Mark Zuckerberg will ever be able to restore trust. So guys, this was my weekly update. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, share it with your friends and colleagues. As I mentioned in the beginning, next week I'm gonna skip a week and I'll be back in 2 weeks to get you more updates on the future of marketing and technology and customer experience. Have a lovely weekend and see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.